Yeah, I got plenty, man. What about it, guys?
Coach, you just start with an opening statement and we'll follow with questions.
All right. Great football team we played tonight. You know, like I said all week, y'all know me, I pretty much tell it exactly how I feel all the time. And they are a great football team that is experienced, that is seasoned, that's talented and deep and well coached, and they've been through the fire. You know, a lot of these kids were here with them when they were rebuilding the program. And credit to Coach Norvell and those guys, man, they played really well early. We had some self-inflicted wounds early on that really hurt us. That's disappointing. I thought we played extremely hard. I thought our guys spilt it. There ain't anybody in there that's got anything left to give in a really tough situation because we got behind early. You know, we just didn't play well. And that's where we got to grow. You know, we got some guys that, you know, in an environment like this, we've got to be able to calm ourselves and make plays. And that's on me as the leader and the head coach. And we'll learn and grow. We said going into this week, we're going to grow from this experience in some way, shape, or form. We're going to lay it on the line and try to pull off a miracle and beat one of the best football teams in the country. And that obviously wasn't in store for us tonight. Really quickly, I do think our kids laid it on the line for each other. I think there's a lot of trust in that locker room. We just got to play better in a setting like that. And I'm not taking anything from Florida. Like, Florida State's awesome. They're good. They're well coached. They execute. I'm talking about the self-inflicted wounds, from the busted assignments to the procedure penalties that we did not have last week. And that's not who we are. We're not a team that has those. And we did tonight. So that's on me, and that's something that's got to be addressed and fixed. I think we got a good football team. I do. We were not tonight. You know, in 1996, Southern Miss came here. And I think we got beat 54-14. I think we had 95 yards offense to Florida State's 500 and something. Looked a lot like tonight. And 11 games later, Southern Miss was the #1 Group of 5 program in America and represented this program in the Liberty Bowl, or this country in the Liberty Bowl. And I believe with all my heart that we've got a good football team that's headed in the right direction. We were outmatched tonight in every way. And we got a great opponent coming up next week, and we got a Sun Belt Conference coming up that we're excited about playing. And when we get back in our league, we feel like we've got a chance to contend and continue to push this program forward. So with that, I'll open it up.
Coach, what was some of the moves, or what was your plan when you guys cut the lead 14-3 to start the second quarter? I saw a lot of passion in the offense and really making things move, and then for some reason it just didn't follow through.
Yeah, you know, every drive that we didn't have a self-inflicted wound, you know, we kind of drove our two drives that we drove it and scored, the field goal and the touchdown. We didn't have a self-inflicted wound. You know what I mean? We didn't have a penalty. You know, I thought the intentional grounding penalty was a tough call on us. You know, we got a read route going on, and they've got a guy get free, and he's hitting Billy as he's throwing the ball. So, and it's in the vicinity where you can tell, but it's a judgment call, and the official made it, and it is what it is. Outside of that, the procedural penalties are completely under our control. We've got to do a better job coaching and doing that. Now, our kids played with passion. They played hard. You can't play a game like that when it turns like that if you don't believe in your brother and love your university and love where you're headed and believe in your coaches and all that. Our kids, they did that. You know, guys, we're playing a great football team that's going to do that to a lot of people. You know, so that's no excuse. We've got to play better and we got to get better, and we certainly will. We'll grow from this. We said going into this week we want to grow from this. And I think we will. I think we'll be better from it. I think we'll be better from it in 7 days.
Coach, the fall starts, so just kind of maybe nervous energy, just kind of happy feet.
Yeah. You know, one time, you know, they were all on us. You know, just in this game. Some of them were some of our younger guys playing in an environment like this for the first time. You know, maybe, you know, I guess I could have done a better job getting us ready. It's not something we do. You know, only one of them. There was one of them where, you know, they slapped one of their D linemen on the rear end, and that's simulating a clap, you know, which is, you know, not supposed to be legal. But outside of that, the rest of them were just on us, and we've got to do better, and we'll coach it up, and we'll get better from it. It's not something we do. We didn't do it. You know, we had none of those last week.
Earlier this week, you compared this Florida State team to an Alabama team a few years ago that you guys played. Now that you guys played the game, how do they compare?
Yeah, you know, I thought I said that I think this has got a chance to be the best team I've ever coached, and I stand by that. Offensively, they're so dynamic. That Bama team was a great team too. Played for a national championship with great coaches and players. And this team, when you look back on it, I think this team has a legitimate chance to win the national title. They've got an experienced, older quarterback. They've got the most starts of any offensive line in the country. They've got backs that are good. Their two wideouts both be first-round draft picks. Their tight ends, the number one ranked tight end recruit in America. Number 5 and 55 are the two best D linemen. That I've probably coached against. 55 is the hardest playing guy, I may have ever coached against. Their two linebackers are both preseason all-conference. Safety started 31 games, so, they've just got, they've grown and been here when they were building the program, so they've seen defeat, and they know what that feels like. They don't want to feel that way again, and Mike's done a great job of building the program. They've added talent to the roster, and they're just really deep and really good and really well coached. They got a legitimate chance.
What are just some positives you think you can draw from an outcome like this?
Well, we know that we'll play hard for each other, and we know we're not going to play anybody that good again. You know what I mean? So we've been in that arena with that team. Everybody we play from here on out will not be as good as that team. And, we've got to learn from the mistakes and fix them. And we've got to keep moving forward. Look, we got to get back into our league. We got to get back to the Sun Belt, and we got to compete for the Sun Belt championship. That's what this season's about for us. We came over here, we laid it on the line. We didn't play well, but we played hard. To be in the arena with a team like this, you've got to play really well and really hard. You know what I mean? This is not, there's about 6 to 8 programs that are on a different level than everybody else in this country, and everybody knows that. And Florida State's one of them,
Well, I thought, especially towards the beginning of the game, that the quarterbacks looked actually really well, breaking up some passes.
They did.
Can you just talk about how good that was to see? I mean, I know the score doesn't reflect it. I thought they really did look good back there.
Great point. Yeah, that's something else too. Because we came into this year saying we got 4 talented guys competing. They didn't really get tested in week 1, and they did tonight. And, man, did they show up. Man, they made some plays. They got the ball out, all 4 of them, plus Markell and Jay Jones at star, and then Jay Stanley and Dillon and Sabatini at safety. Dima, that's a great point. I thought that was really good to see. I thought all 4 of them competed their tails off and did a great job getting the ball out versus 2 dudes that are, I would suspect they're both going to be first-round draft picks.
Yeah, Keon Coleman to 0 catches before the end of the second quarter.
Yeah.
Another thing, I thought the pressure for the defensive line was able to get to Travis a good bit, just couldn't contain him on the edge.
Their second touchdown drive, did they convert 3 fourth downs or 3 fourth downs? And that's devastating. When you're in a game like this and you're battling, and man, he made plays, and he's a great player, and he's an experienced player. And, so they convert 3 fourth downs right there to drive it and score, credit to them. But our D was playing hard and good, and then they do the surprise onside, and we didn't execute that well enough, and they get it back. And at that point, we start kind of getting tired, and it is what it is. But like I said, I thought we played hard. I thought we just didn't play well from a standpoint of things we can control. I'm not talking about when a great player for them makes a play or, one of their great pass rushers gets back on the quarterback. I'm talking about procedure penalties. I'm talking about not running the play that's called, a busted route here, things like that where, we just didn't do a good enough job coaching to get it done today on a team like that.
Coach, how do you get your guys prepared for next week against a team that you guys shocked last year and that had only really – until today, had only lost 1 game, played in the Cotton Bowl, and you guys took them on and you took them head on, and you won that game versus what happened tonight.
Yeah, getting our guys ready won't be hard. Our guys they'll be chomping at the bit to play. These guys love Southern Miss. They love each other. They're embarrassed about what happened tonight. Even though, being honest with you, not all of it was under their control. You know what I mean? That's a great football team. That football team scored 45 points on LSU just 7 days ago. And they're going to score a bunch on a lot of people. I think, is that eight in a row now that they've had over 30 whatever? So, it's a great football team. Our guys will be ready. Tulane's a big rivalry game. We got great respect for Tulane. It'll be at the Rock, and we are looking forward to preparation this week and playing again and getting this behind us.
How'd you feel Billy played tonight?
I thought he played good under a lot of duress. He had some situations where we didn't execute out on the perimeter as much as we would have liked to. Obviously, our O-line had to play as hard as they could play versus the best D-line in the country. There were some matchups in there that weren't always good. We tried to get the ball out quick early, and but I thought he's a tough guy. I thought he continues to build that. I thought he was accurate, and I thought he hung in there, drove us to a touchdown in the second half, and then another field goal drive where he executed. And I think it's a game he can build on with his teammates, in our offense moving forward.
I believe the first 9 plays you guys ran were all passing plays. I mean,
Yeah.
Was that by design, trying to get their passing game going, or was it more just kind of how the game played out?
It wasn't designed, but we knew we were going to have to try to get the ball out quick versus their D-line and try to get them tired and move the ball. And if you go back and look at it, we actually would have had a chance to if we don't get the procedural penalties. We hit Caston right there, and he turns up, and we would have had a first down right there if not for the previous 5-yard penalty. And, those things snowball on you. You get a first down right there, you get a little rhythm going, you get to going, you can sneak a run in or two here on that great D-line, and all of a sudden your defense is fresh. And those are the things you have to do, to pull off a monumental upset like that. And we just didn't get it done early on.
Can you just talk about, Avery White and the other tight ends, stepping up and living up to that miss next man up mentality in Cole Cabal's absence?
Yeah, it's been great, and that's another way we've grown. We lost Cole, and we've grown at that position. Justin really played well in the second half, particularly at the point of attack on the line of scrimmage. He's going to be a really good player for us. That's another area like Dima was talking about with the corners. We continue to grow and improve, and it's only going to help us, as the season continues to go on and we get back in the Sun Belt play.
And bouncing off of that, Dreke Clark had, now there's been 2 games in a row in which, if I'm not mistaken, he's led rushing yards. He's looked really, really good for you.
Yeah, good player. Good football player. We're glad he's with us. And I think he's going to continue to have a really good year, Lord willing, staying healthy. And, we've just got to – we've got to get back home. We've got to watch this film. We've got to fix these mistakes that we can fix. We've got to put this behind us, and we've got to start getting ready for Tulane and getting back into our arena. Because I really believe with all my heart that we've got a good football team in our arena. This is an arena that's a little bit, like I said, there's about 6 to 8 teams that are in this arena. And, so there's about 125 teams that aren't in this arena. And we're going to get back into our arena, and I think we're going to be a tough out. You know what I mean? I think this team will rally together. I know they will. We're going to have a great week of preparation. We're going to continue to grow. We got one more non-conference game before we get into conference play. And we got to be hitting on all cylinders this week versus Tulane. They're a great football team. And then we go into Sun Belt play. And we believe we've got a team that can compete in the Sun Belt West and have a shot at it.
Anything else? Coach, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks.
So, second start since May of 2021, and, probably one of your bigger starts in front of one of the bigger crowds you've ever seen. Just kind of talk about your performance, talk about what you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like.
Yeah, definitely is probably the biggest star I've had in front of the biggest crowd. But, I have to play better, complete more passes, get in our playmakers' hands, and just let them work. And we're going to go back, watch the film, and just learn from everything on film tonight and get better.
How much do you think some of the penalties and, false starts and things kind of hindered the offense?
I think it was huge. We couldn't get anything going in the first half, really, and I think that was a big problem, the biggest problem, honestly. Our touchdown drive in the second half was our first drive. I believe it was our first drive without a penalty. Just being behind the chains definitely set us back, and against a good team, a good team like Florida State, it's hard to overcome. I think that was a big issue tonight.
I think y'all started with 9 passes in a row. Was that kind of the game plan going forward, or were y'all trying to establish the run, or y'all trying to start with that?
We knew we were gonna throw it around a little bit. That's for sure. We knew we were gonna have to do both. But yeah, I mean, just kind of the way the game went, just being behind the chains, I think was a big part of that too. So.
What'd you kind of see on that interception?
Yeah, I mean, I probably let it go a little too early. Guy jumped inside, made a good play. Probably should have moved on. So that was on me. But like I said, just gonna have to watch the film and get better.
Billy, what can you guys really take away from this game and some of those self-inflicted wounds, kind of looking at the tape? And yeah, I mean, this is probably the biggest environment y'all will be in this year.
Yeah, I think we need to learn from the penalties. We need to not have penalties between the snaps. And then just execution-wise, I just got to get the ball in playmakers' hands a little better, give them more chances to make plays. So.
Getting back home, Tulane, and just kind of your early thoughts on getting back to the Rock and the challenges with Tulane coming in.
Yeah, Tulane's a good team. Obviously, it's gonna be a home game. Excited about that. But yeah, after we learn from this game, gonna focus on Tulane, and I'm excited about that. Should be a fun one.
How do you feel your wide receivers performed tonight? Like, what did you see that you liked from them?
Yeah, I mean, I think their effort was there for sure. Like I said, I got to give them more chances to make plays. So I don't think they really had a chance to have a huge impact on that game, and that's mostly on me. So I think they did what they could, and so just I got to give them a couple more chances just to make plays, I think.
Anything else? Billy, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Questions?
So just coming off this game, talk about what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think you can improve on.
I feel like I had an all right game, just coming in late, just sitting on the sideline waiting on my number to get called. I feel like I could be just a little bit more explosive on my runs. And I think I had a decent game, honestly.
Is it difficult at all when you're sitting out for most of the first half and you're watching, the score just run up against you guys?
Well, it was kind of frustrating, but like I told y'all earlier, when zero get called, that's when zero gonna show up. So that's the only thing I can bring to the table.
What can you guys take away from this game? Coach was saying this is probably the biggest environment y'all play in.
This is one of our biggest environments. I feel like we can just pick up our energy in the beginning of the game and just, I don't know how to explain that right there, but I just feel like we got a lot more to work on, We just got to get 1% better every day from here on out. We just seen all our mistakes. We kind of beat ourselves, honestly.
There were a lot of question marks and a lot of people questioning the DBs heading into the season. And they weren't really challenged last week, and this week they really showed up.
Shout out to the DBs, man. They had a great game. Because they was all talking about the hype of the receivers for Florida State, how big they was. And I know our guys isn't that big, but we played big tonight in the DB position.
What was kind of the message that Coach Hall told you after the game?
Don't pull away. Everybody need to come together because this is one of our biggest teams that we're going to play this year. And we come to take the Sun Belt.
How quickly are y'all going to erase what happened tonight?
Today.
Yeah.
Most definitely today. We're coming back in Monday to work on the corrections. Tuesday we back at practice and we'll have all this fixed before Tulane.
Speaking of Tulane, just kind of your preliminary thoughts on Tulane, how you feel you're going to prepare for them, and how you feel heading into next Saturday.
I feel great. Me and the other guys on the team, we're going to continue to bond with each other, watch film, and we'll be there ready for Tulane Saturday.
Anything else?
Sounds good.
Drake, thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Jay Stanley.
Jay, on the second drive for Florida State, and they converted 3 4th downs. What was that, trying to set you guys, set the tone? Y'all thought you had it right there What was going through your mind?
It was very frustrating, but you gotta keep it cool in those moments. It was very frustrating, you know. The other guy getting how many? Three, 4th down conversions in a row. You know, you just can't win by just giving those 3 4th down conversions in a row. So we got to fix that, but it was frustrating.
What positives do you think you can draw from an outcome like this?
I feel like earlier, even though guys made a lot of mistakes, it was fixable mistakes. Mistakes you can fix at practice. Just tackling stuff like that, stuff you can fix.
You know, you've been with these DBs since the spring, and a lot of people have been doubting them, and they weren't really challenged last week. What did you see today? Because I feel like they really showed up in a good way today.
I saw those guys accept the challenge that was to us. The other guy had some good receivers. Florida State had some good receivers. So I feel like those guys just went out there and competed, just put it all on the line for our brother.
What was kind of the plan coming in to guard those receivers? Was it kind of cover through everything in front, or just one-on-one?
A little bit of both. We like to mix. We don't like to stay in one coverage too much or this coverage too much. We like to mix it. So it's pretty much both.
Do you feel like you achieved that game
I
plan?
had to watch the film. I can't think of all the catches and stuff they had off the top of my head right now. I had to watch the film.
It felt like early on, especially in the first quarter, you guys were really, on defense, were hanging in there with them, and then those 4th down conversions kind of are backbreakers. Just what do you feel about the defense's performance, especially in the first half?
Like I said earlier, the mistakes, some mistakes could have been fixed, like jumping outside, little personal penalties that we could have fixed. I feel like we could have stopped them from scoring a couple times. Like you said, the 3 4th down conversions, that was a killer. We could have got out the field 3 times that drive, 3 times, and we just couldn't. So they laid down and score. So they come with momentum. You get 3 4th down conversions in a row.
How do you feel about the front seven's performance, the D-line and the linebackers? What did you see and what impressed you?
I was impressed by the tackling early. The other guy tried to come in and run the ball. I don't feel like they could run the ball against us like they wanted to. So I feel like earlier we made them pass the ball and made them get the quarterback out the pocket, made them do some stuff. So I feel like tackling was good earlier.
And another thing, Will Hall mentioned it, and it was very prevalent last week and even more so this week. A lot of people talked about the 2 interceptions in the first quarter last week, but one thing that Will Hall and most of us have realized is your tackling has improved exponentially. What was that fix like, or what was that change like to make more heads-up plays and to get after the ball quicker?
It's just my mentality changed. I know I got a lot of people watching me this year. A lot of people, a lot of naysayers, a lot of doubters, a lot of people critiquing my game. So I feel like every time I go out there, I got to do the right thing. I got to make the perfect play. So I just keep myself to that standard and just keep working every day.
Jay, what are your early thoughts on Tulane? Obviously, that team, have a chip on its shoulder from the loss last year, and just what do you expect next Saturday?
I'm expecting them to come in and play hard. I don't know who's going to play quarterback for them, so I can't really give you too much. But I expect them to come in and play hard. Just like last year, we beat them. We celebrated pretty good on their home field, too. So I know they're going to come in. They're probably going to replay that stuff in their head. So I know they're going to come in and play pretty hard, but we're going to play harder.
Anything else?
Good.
Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all.
Jay,